Hello, my friends, Life Tapestry Creations. You are not wrong, just new. Dear ones, even though most years, changing the calendar year does not ensure a new life, this year is different. Throughout 2023, you will sense dramatic shifts within your being, resulting in new interactions in your outer world. Until the recent global energy shifts and your inner work, you addressed most issues with a 3D consciousness. Because this worked before, it will work now instead of your new life stance. This action seems unusual, but it feels right. For what was is no more including outer world problem solving. The past few days, you let go of years of shoots, have lost and gold, resulting in new ways of interacting with others and yourself. Your 3D being was an accumulation of activities you wish to eliminate in this life, and so you have. You are now almost a clean slate, even though pieces of your current 3D life remain. Those pieces are so minimal as not to be included in your current self-assessment. So, some relationships you might continue are not necessarily as loving as they once were because you ended the karmic ties that bound you to that person. You are addressing your interactions with fresh eyes and new needs. You are new, and the earth is new, yet many of you are surprised that you no longer respond as you once did. Those differences will increase throughout this year, for you are quickly shifting in ways you cannot yet envision. Many of you have heard of walk-ins beings who contend they entered Earth while a human body previously inhabited by another being. In truth, those walk-ins were test projects created en masse by those of you who wish to transition beyond 3D, just as is true for experiments or most creations. You wanted to ensure that the new you being you contemplated was possible. You questioned whether you could shift quickly in this lifetime and yet remain of the earth. Walking beings are newer versions of themselves without the burdens of past lives. Just as is not true for you if someone were to measure your thoughts, beliefs, and reactions before you initiated your transition in this lifetime. They would find it different enough to not be recognizable or walking. You are no longer the 3D you others were once familiar with. Those not transitioning find you confusing and probably aggravating, while those who are transitioning are as confused about their new being as you are with yours. Even though you have been informed by many universal messages, including ours, the end product of your transition involves almost daily, resulting in a confusing mishmash of words and actions. You feel this way one day and completely different the next. Of course, something similar was true in 3D, but through years of Earth life and fear consistencies, you seemingly had justifications for this fear of that feeling. It's raining and cold, so I feel down. I might be fired, so I better work longer hours. I'm in love, so I'm floating in joy. Your actions are no longer consistent with your expectations, so you might be tired, even though you had a good night's sleep, or filled with joy, even though the actions in your outer world would have previously made you sad. You no longer have emotional or interactional givens. You are truly new with new thoughts, actions, and speech patterns. Allow yourself to feel and respond as your new life happens instead of stuffing yourself into your 3D boxes of fear or socially right actions. You have no right actions now because you are discovering yourself. Just as the walk-ins had to shift their thinking and actions to fit their new being, the same is true for you. The difference is you are surrounded by millions of others moving through the same doubts and, at times, fear. What once made you comfortable is no more. Your current and future beings are changing by the minute. Please know that you will often question yourself throughout your ongoing shift into newer maturity, not because you are wrong, but because you are new. So be it. Amen. Channeled by Brenda Hoffman.